How you doing? Emeka here again. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Sorry for being slightly out of breath. I'm still recovering from the Hackney half marathon that I was involved in earlier on today. Make this quick video in regards to while I was running, I was thinking about my 7-year writing career, all summed up in this 13.1 mile run. And what I mean by that is it kind of dawned on me of the different challenges that I faced in that 7-year period writing books, something I'm very passionate about, and how that sort of correlated with this particular run, because I've done this half marathon twice now. I first started writing in 2011 and I was passionate about my first book. Made a lot of mistakes, but quickly out the blocks, not thinking about everything it means to become a self-publisher, everything it means to take not only the writing seriously but the business side of it seriously as well. And so while I was running, so there's different periods that I want to relate to, different times of when I've written books and some of the challenges that I faced. So when I first started running today, the first thing that I was thinking is, okay, just get to 4 miles without stopping and then take it from there. That was the initial target. Get to 4 miles and then take it from there. And then I started jogging. I would say the first 10 minutes is always the hardest for me personally. First 10 minutes is always the hardest. So when I linked that to my first book, it was like, okay, just write this book, regardless of what the naysayers have to say, regardless of the obstacles of not knowing what you're doing, just get it done, just finish the book and see how it goes. And so that was that. So I got to that 4 mile period and my body was fatigued. I felt like stopping at that point. But then I just kept going, knowing in my head that it's only a matter of time before I stopped. And so bearing in mind, this whole marathon, there was a lot of stops and starts. I'm gonna sit here saying that I ran the whole thing, because I knew I wasn't. I expected that because of the lack of training. Throughout, my body was aching, different injuries. I even came into it slightly injured as well. From when I was coaching my students last week, pulled my quads. But I said no, I still have to come, I still have to get it done, trying to raise money. So getting to the 8 mile period now, so that was my next target. I've already stopped in between sort of mile 4 and mile 8, but I was thinking, okay, you need to pick up the pace again, you need to get to mile 8, get there. And as I was running, I was starting to pick up momentum, and so I linked this again back to going to my second book and taking my time to explore all aspects of writing, knowing the business side, taking my time, working a lot closer with my editors, making sure that I had several eyes on my work. Had a lot of more positive people around me who were sort of spurring me on. And so between that 4 mile period and that 8 mile period, there was a lot of people that I would say that were encouraging each other to keep going. And so you got people that you're running with who are running the same race with you, like encouraging you. There are people on the sidelines encouraging you. And so this is how I felt. I felt really good. When I was writing my second book, during that writing period, I had a lot of encouragements. When I launched the book, a lot of friends, a lot of families, work colleagues who showed me some support. And I felt like I was building up good momentum. And so while I was in that period between mile 4 and mile 8, I felt like, yeah, this kind of represents that phase of that second book. And then one thing I would say is, like, every milestone, literally every milestone, it was all about giving yourself a pat on the back, because you literally have to, because it's all an achievement. It's like from getting from mile to mile, you have to understand that your self-doubt is in your head throughout, telling you to stop. There's no point. throughout this whole thing at the start, you're like, yeah, I've got this purpose, I'm trying to raise money for young people. But then one of the things that I realized while I was running was that this was not just more about the young people, this was more about myself. And what do I mean by that? This run then reflected more about myself and what that meant in my current life. So now moving on, trying to explain that a little bit further, moving on from sort of mile 8 leading up to mile 10, and I said to myself, all right, get to 10 miles, just keep going, keep going. Body's really fatigued. Easy to just give up. I'm telling you, especially when you're already walking, easy to give up. But then you lift yourself up again. It's just a quick rest. You lift yourself up again and you keep going. And so this kind of represented the period of leading up to writing my third book, My Sister's Pain. Some of the challenges that I faced. So mile 8 to mile 10 was pretty much a very, very hard period. It was like my calves, I can feel my calves starting to go, my quads were starting to go. My lungs were alright, but it's just my body was really fatigued. And then I remember that period when I was writing my third book. I was juggling so many different things at the same time, feeling fatigued, but telling myself that I had to keep going, I had to finish. And then when I finished, I had to then promote the book in a different way, and I decided to launch at Hackney Empire. For me, this was a big deal. This is where I grew up. This is an auditorium of over 1,000 people. As a relatively unknown name in the industry, trying to fill this place between 500 to 1,000 people, it's not easy. And so that's what mile 8 to 10 represented for me. It was a lot of hard work. During this period, my house blew up, my apartment where I lived blew up, put in a temporary accommodation. So like, there were so many different things that were telling me to not bother getting to mile 10. So many different things, and that represented writing that third book, promoting that big event at the Hackney Empire. But then I got to mile 10, and I felt good. I got there and I felt good. I saw these guys who were giving out sweets, had a drink, and there was a hill. There was a hill, and I saw my friend from primary school. Shout out to Kim. And she was giving encouragements and just saying, yeah, just keep going, just keep going. And I remember passing that mile 10, there's quite a lot of people, bands who were pushing you on, singing, dancing, shaking their instruments, everything to just encourage you to just keep going. And I remember passing them and feeling good about myself, feeling like, okay, I can do this. There's 3 more miles, I can do this. And then when I think, how does that correlate? How does that parallel to my book, My Sister's Pain? So yeah, we had the book launch at Hackney Empire. It was a big success. So many different people came to support in terms of all the performers, all the women who came to perform. It was all dedicated to women. We had about 700 people who turned up. So again, hitting that milestone, selling a lot of books, thinking, okay, this is the start of something great. You need to push on, and just keep going. The real lesson took place between mile 10 and mile 13. And that represents the last 18 months of my life. Coming off this great high, reaching that 10-mile period, reaching that point of writing this third book, and all the success that went with it in regards to that big event of launching that book in front of 700 people, all the artists, all the creatives that came to help support that launch. So now I was expected to kick on, to push on. But then something happened. This innate feeling of self-doubt, this innate feeling of, what's the point? Like, everything that I planned up until the book launch went well, but then everything after that was a lot more difficult. And we're all human. It's like, being a motivational speaker myself, it's like, you have to, like, we have to find that motivation ourselves. And then months went by, thinking, okay, maybe I just need to take a break. And so that was what happened between mile 11 and 12, I took a break. I started walking, thinking more, and I was like, this is exactly what happened with my sister's pain after this big point of reaching this milestone. Took a break, thinking about the next step. Okay, what I've planned in my head is not working out. How do I push on? But then there was a lack of motivation. I already know what I'm supposed to be doing next. I'm supposed to be writing my next book. I'm supposed to be pushing forward with planning that, researching that. But then the self-doubt, the lack of motivation, procrastination became my friend again. Found every reason to not start. And that's how I felt between mile 11 and 12. Thinking, why did I even do this? Why am I even why am I even doing this? Okay, then I remind myself it's for the young people. But then I was like, yeah, but it's also for yourself, because I'm already drawing the parallels to my writing career. It was a really tough period, and it's still a tough period. Even waking up this morning to even do this run, that innate lack of motivation. But I knew that I have a purpose. I knew that there's something bigger down the line that I needed to achieve. So I got to mile 12. I got to mile 12 and I was like, yeah, this is it. No more work, no more walking, no more self-doubt. You have a goal. You have a goal to finish. You have a goal to get to. And I started jogging again. Started feeling good. The pain didn't go away. I can tell you that. The pain didn't go away, but it was now more of a mental battle. It was a mental battle to get through. Just under a mile to go. Half a mile to go. And there was 3 significant periods that got me to the finish line. The first, 2004, I saw some of the young people that I used to coach from Gems FC. I ran past them and they shouted out, Emeka! And I turned back and I was like, whoa! And that just gave me a boost and I just kept going. And I just kept going. Literally. Almost getting to the finish line. And as I'm going through the last turning, I see another brother, an Igbo brother. Shout out to all my Igbo people, Igbo Kwenu. And that's literally what he shouted out. He saw me and he goes, keep going, Igbo Kwenu. For those that know, that's a signature saying that we have in our culture. And that was another significant moment for me to just keep going. Shout out to ICSN. As I'm getting to the finish line, getting closer to the finish line, so many people cheering me on. And I see Jeanette, who I started the race with. Jeanette is pretty much like a second mom to me. She is the founder, one of the founders of the Crib Youth Project. And she started the race actually. I saw her, I could see she was fatigued, I could see she was tired, and I just grabbed a hold of her hand. So this is a woman that supported me right from the age of 13. Non-stop, no matter what, believed in me every step of the way. First book, second book, third book. She's been to all of my book launches. She supported me in everything. And I see her towards the finish line and I just held her hand and then we finished the race together. It was a very powerful moment. So how do I link that to my writing career? Simple. That journey's not over yet. That race is still ongoing between mile 12 and mile 13, and it's really difficult. Need to find the motivation again to write my next book. But what's interesting about it is that this half marathon gave me perspective, gave me an opportunity to think. Not my personal best in regards to running the whole race without stopping, but during that 13.1 miles it was more of a mental battle, physical battle, to say that I can finish this race but more importantly, finish my next book, continue to speak to as many young people as possible, continue to inspire as many young people as possible, to build businesses, and to live a good and righteous life and help as many people as I can. So yeah, I'm between mile 12 and mile 13, but this writing journey, this obsession of selling millions of copies of my work and to inspire millions goes way beyond mile 13, because the journey continues. So that's just a quick video. Hopefully somebody needed to hear this story, somebody needed to hear what I've gone through today, and I thought I would share. So make sure you subscribe, and looking forward to the next one.